Welcome to the Driving the World podcast series. I'm your host, Cully Holland. Today we have Kevin Blankenship, an industrial gearing product specialist, and we'll be discussing our X.e Miner. Hey, Kevin, how are you doing today?
Good. How you doing, Cully?
Doing wonderful. So happy you can make it on. So today we're going to talk about our X.e Miner. So why don't we just kick it off and you tell me exactly what that is in our industrial gearing portfolio?
Sure, Cully. So our X Miner product is actually an extension of our X Series gear reducer. So it's a product that's made specifically for underground mining applications. So we start with our X Series right angle gear reducer, and then we have some other features and benefits beyond that that make it specialized for that industry.
Well, right away, when you say underground mining, I can definitely see how some added bells and whistles might be needed just to prolong the life and even have it survive in that kind of environment. So why don't we go ahead and dive into some of those features and benefits that make it special and suited for that application?
Absolutely. So I'll start with our severe duty package, which is standard on our X Miner product. So with that with the severe duty package, it does come standard with our OS4 surface protection, which is our highest surface protection with an epoxy paint. There is also sight glasses and dipsticks and taconite seals on the high speed and the low speed shaft on that gearbox. So you think about a nasty environment, we have to have all those things that can keep the stuff out of the unit.
It sounds like we're going to have that underground. And these taconite seals, I know they're our highest level of sealing, but what kind of makes them special or, suited for this kind of environment?
So they are a radial labyrinth seal. So you have multiple layers of contact with the shaft. And I believe the definition for labyrinth is a tortuous path, if I remember my training correctly. So it gives the contaminants a very difficult path to come into the gearbox. So, and beyond that, underneath those taconite seals, we also have a sleeve on the shaft. So it actually limits the potential for the shaft to get grooved. And even if it does, then it's an easier repair of replacing a seal instead of having to fix a groove shaft somewhere in the field.
That it is. And it sounds like those seals are the real deal. So I can understand why they're in this application. So we give it a severe duty package, the gearbox and the motor, everything's kind of covered. What else do we do to kind of help it out in this environment?
Well, the other thing that really makes this the X Miner is the tunnel housing that houses the coupling between the gearbox and the motor. So it is actually designed in a manner that you can put a fluid coupling in it, which is what you would find in most of your legacy installations. So it's what used to be used predominantly out in the marketplace. Or it can house a rigid coupling if a customer is going to have a VFD application to balance those speeds out on that unit. So we've actually designed that tunnel housing to be interchangeable with some industry dimensions out there on legacy installations. And we've also given it a very modular design like our Xbox, where it can be flipped over, it can be turned in a lot of different directions. The torque arm for that unit can be placed in multiple locations, and it can be on the bottom. So one of the other features of this unit is, in this application, typically two of these units run head to head in opposite directions. And if one goes out, they want to be able to use the same unit on the other side. So they can invert that and flip it over. So they can pin the torque arm in multiple locations, top and bottom, either side.
Very convenient. And I feel like convenience is a much appreciated in these environments, being underground and not wanting to pull complete units out or anything like that. So I can see how that benefit is superb. And I'm glad we definitely have that on this unit. You were talking about the coupling and we talked about the gearbox and severe duties. So it's SEW. Are we like bits and piecing and expecting our customers to put this together in the field, or how does this whole package kind of come together?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Love that answer.
So we can do it either way. So we have customers that will buy the unit with the tunnel housing and without couplings, and then they will supply their own, or we can provide a complete package solution, and that is with the motor, with whatever high-speed coupling they choose, and even the low-speed coupling, so that they literally have the solution delivered to them and they can put it right on the conveyor. So any way they wish to have it, we can do it in any manner.
So it sounds like it's kind of dealer's choice, and they're going to be able to figure out what works best for them, and SEW is going to work to make that happen.
That's correct.
So it sounds like it's definitely very well suited for this underground mining. I know a few things come to my mind when I think underground mining, but let's hear it from you. What are some of these applications where we can find this X Miner, and where would it be found, just like kind of out in the wild, out in the world?
The place you're going to find it the most is an underground coal belt conveyor. So you'll hear it referred to as a belt box, where you have the two units running head to head. That's the most common place you're going to find them, but it's not exclusive to coal mining. So
Okay.
we've deployed these in underground limestone mining, lead mining. So any aggregates where they're moving bulk material out of the ground, this is where you're going to find that product.
Awesome. So pretty much if you have a belt going from under the ground to the surface, our X Miner is going to be jam up for the job and definitely well suited.
Absolutely.
Is there anything we've missed or anything else you'd like to talk about with the X Miner? Or have we covered it pretty fully?
No, I think we hit it pretty good. The modularity of that product is something I really want to hit because it gives us the flexibility to hit that application from any direction, and it actually reduces the number of spares for the customer as well. So you talk about flipping that unit over, they don't have to stock 2 different units with 2 different output shaft arrangements. They can literally use the same one and flip it over.
And that is a phenomenal benefit and a great place to end this podcast. So I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for coming on, and I hope to see you again soon.
Thanks, Coley. Appreciate it.